Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to News Roundup. Normally a Thursday show, but tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I want to wish you and your families a very happy Thanksgiving. I will not be on tomorrow, so we'll do News Roundup this evening. So we got a lot to get to tonight. There's a lot of news all around the world and some stuff that actually makes, some sense. So I'm going to say hello and get right into it. What's up, Jason and Alex? How y'all doing? So, Linda, hello. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Neo, what's going on, man? So we're gonna start off on fire. Breaking the Louisville mass shooter manifesto released. The shooter that massacred a bank office downtown Louisville left a manifesto that proves who's targeting upper class white people. So this is allegedly the manifesto. I've seen it in a lot of different areas. So I certainly wanted to go ahead and show it to you guys, read it real quick, and get you guys on the same page. Hey, Digger. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, what's up? I'm not Obama. Happy Thanksgiving. So this is the supposed manifesto. Very short, very to the point. I've decided to make an impact. These people did not deserve to die, but because I was depressed and able to buy blank guns, they're gone. Perhaps this is the impetus for change. Upper class white people dying. I certainly would not be able to do this. Able to do without. Were it more difficult to get a gun? Explanation of process. 45 minutes, get AR-15. Just walked in, 45 minutes, get AR-15. You also lied on a federal form, which is the laws you're talking about, but I know our politicians are solely focused on living their own posh, but maybe this will, I don't know what the hell that word is, but maybe this will knock some sense into them. If not, good luck. Well, good luck. This is a very impressive PSYOP. It's almost like it was written by a 3-letter agency. Not much there, but pretty clear, pretty to the point, and we're not going to spend a whole hell of a lot of time on it. Hey, what's up, Matt Self? I killed people so banned guns. Flawless logic right there. Democrats are going to endorse him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it probably went to 3 or 4 different think tanks. The United States probably paid $12.5 million for that, and it took them 6-7 months, maybe. But I don't want to spend much time on this asshole. He killed a lot of people for no reason, and he has a special place to rot in hell. Breaking. So this was yesterday. North Korea has launched a suspected ballistic missile 1 day ahead of pre-announced satellite launch window. Jailer issued for Okinawa Prefecture in Japan. So there's a lot of media blackout on a lot of things right now, as we're kind of seeing. There's not a lot of information on this. We don't know exactly what happened or where. It went harmlessly into the ocean. We know that, but but yeah, North Korea has launched a ballistic missile. So, the things we're excited about, and I'm not going to read the article because it's disgusting, but we'll just read the headline. We have enough to go over. We don't need any. But Air Force Base warns service members to avoid Patriot rally with speaker from pro-Trump group. Textile service members that participation could jeopardize their military careers. Well, let's see. Oh, it is going to go down. So we'll read this first. First couple paragraphs. The leadership at an Air Force base in North Dakota sent a text message to service members to warn them of the dangers of being near downtown rally that featured a speaker from a pro-Trump organization. That's cute. I'm glad that they're doing that. It's so nice of them. Leaders, please exercise caution if downtown this weekend, reads the text message that was sent to Manoa Air Force Base personnel, which is one of our nuclear triad bases. If you are unsure or unclear, that's one of our nuclear triad bases. So should be probably free of political bias in many different many different scenarios, but it was not, obviously. Certainly they didn't. Leaders, please exercise caution if downtown this weekend, reads text message. Oh, I already read that. At issue was the planned November 17th event dubbed Dakota Patriot Rally at the State Fairgrounds in Manoa. And a text warned personnel to be cautious if they were in the area, especially because some rally-goers could be confrontational to military members. That doesn't sound like a typical Trump rally where they're confrontational to military members, but that's just me. The text, which was shared with the popular Air Force Amen SNCO Facebook page, also noted that the event would feature a guest speaker from Turning Point Action, which the warning noted as an alt-right organization. And of course, if you believe in freedom and the American way in any way, you're a terrorist now. So, speaking of far-right organizations that turn out to be feds, moving right along, a neo-Nazi extreme group called Blood Tribe has been started marching in the streets carrying swastika flags in Madison, Wisconsin. Numerous witnesses have reported seeing a group of roughly 24 individuals wearing full red shirts with black pants carrying and waving swastika flags as they gathered outside the Wisconsin Capitol. Then marched through downtown Madison, Wisconsin this Saturday afternoon. The group is reportedly called the Blood Tribe, an extreme neo-Nazi group known for their extreme political views and behaviors. Let's play Spot the Fed. Joke's on you, they're all feds.
Look at these bumbling retards. Probably don't even know. That's fucking true.
That one guy definitely went to acting school. There's no question. I'm supposed to feel sorry when the feds are Cade. Well, these are definitely feds. The way that they're all in unison and the masks and stuff like that. That's 100% a fed. If I've ever seen one. So we'll go from one terrorist attack potentially to another one. I covered this earlier, but this is Governor Kathy Hochul talking about the vehicle crash and explosion at the Rainbow Bridge. If you get a second, go check that out. That was about a 20-minute video, and it kind of breaks down what we saw, if you haven't seen it already. It was streamed earlier today. So,
good afternoon. I just returned from the scene of a horrific accident that led to a high-level anxiety all the way from Western New York to Albany to Washington. But before I describe the details, I want to be very, very clear to Americans and New Yorkers. At this time, there is no indication of a terrorist attack. Let me repeat that. At this time, there is no indication of a terrorist-involved attack here at the Rainbow Bridge in Western New York. Good afternoon.
Okay, so they're saying it's not a terrorist attack. Again, I watched the footage and we went through it. I still have not got a direct impact of the event. It was not an accident at all. There's some reports saying that they were being chased. That could be a possibility. There's another, like conspiracy theory, right? Give me just a second to pull it up. Because I was going to kind of dance around it, but fuck it. Let's go full. So this is interesting. Me and a couple of the people that hang out with me, we really love our flight boards. Well, here's the E6B Tacoma Pico 28 picked the worst day ever to do practice approaches at Niagara Falls International Airport. So this is an E6. So this is a command and control plane. It can broadcast signals. It can pick up intelligence, stuff like that. And it just happened to be doing routes over the suspected area. They're not really good at covering shit up. But, so yeah, that happened. Certainly happened. I've been back and forth with it. I still do not see it as anything but some kind of attack. I don't know if it was absolutely a terrorist attack in the, in the sense of the word. Fox News came out very strongly and called it a terrorist attack almost immediately. Then it was completely turned around on that. So this is one of the original posts, and we can take a look at this too. U.S.-Canada border, like I said, that's a lot of flames, but we cannot see a direct impact from the core. So,
yeah.
Is somebody trying to put it out, or
I'll get to it. Hey, what's up, Daisy Girl?
I don't.
Yo, call Steve. Tell him to come back.
All right, so this is the border checkpoint. This is where it took place. The car actually launched probably in the 15 to 20 feet range, and looked pretty gnarly doing it. So who knows? Who knows what the hell's going on? Might be out front of some threats on different events tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, is Thanksgiving here in the United States. So if you're going to any of the parades for the Thanksgiving holiday, please keep your eyes out and look for your exit, look for safety, which you should always do, but just make sure that you do it tomorrow. It looked like a car crash, but they were driving so recklessly in a checkpoint to where they exploded. Bizarre. It was very bizarre. This happened a couple days ago, 3 days ago now. Breaking former First Lady Rosalynn Carter has passed away at the age of 96. This is former First Lady to President Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter is still alive. I know it shocks me as well. But yeah, she passed away, and I have no complaints with Mrs. Carter. I think Jimmy was a shit president, but not a shit president in a nefarious way. And the people of Georgia really seem to love him, even to this day. So, that's where he's from, and yeah, sucks anytime somebody dies. So, I don't have a lot of negative to say about former First Lady Miss Carter. I do have something to say about the current administration, though. President Biden makes his first post on the Threads app. I turned 81 and all I got was a social platform. To the workers at the birthday candle factory, I hope your union got you overtime. Look at that fucking cake. Holy shit. Do you think they just did it to make fun of him? Because I would have, but it looks pretty ridiculous. Looks pretty ridiculous. Apparently, Joe Biden had an 81st birthday. That's all that is. Candles. Yeah, that's about what. Yeah. It's a direct portal to hell. That cake. It does kind of look like it. Yeah. All right. So moving from one ridiculous thing to another with former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden. One of his administration officials, Stephen Hovenick, an official who works in the Biden administration, is the top administrator for the Pentagon's school system. Hell yeah. Ex-Comer became a member again. Thanks, buddy. Good to see you, man. As the top administration for the Pentagon school system, was arrested in a human trafficking sting. Par for the course. 6 victims were rescued, and their charges of pandering, drug possession, prostitution, and pimping. And we all know pimping ain't easy. But this disgusting fucker, part of the Biden administration, I know no one's shocked. But he absolutely just got picked up not too long ago. So, all right. So, yeah, why don't we go here? The holidays, they always do this press conference to tell you how good everything was and how everything's wonderful, and you should reelect Joseph Biden for, another term in office. Although we're not even sure he knows what the office is anymore. We can't be sure. But we'll listen to Karine Jean-Pierre, Stunning and Brave, talk about how wonderful our economy is right now.
Just in time for holiday travel, gas prices are down $1.70 from their peak. Airline tickets are down 13% over the last year, and car rentals are down about 10%. And as we start preparing our Thanksgiving meals, grocery inflation is at its lowest level in over 2 years, with prices for eggs, milks, bacon, and fresh veggies lower than last year. In fact, according to the American Farm Bureau, the cost of a Thanksgiving dinner fell this year. Prices are down for turkey, stuffing, peas, cranberries, pie crust, and whipping cream. We had a big discussion about whipping cream in the back.
I'm sure you did.
I don't know what whipping cream is. I know whipped cream, but not whipping cream. Anyway, because wages are rising,
Shut up,
this
you dumb
Thanksgiving
bitch.
dinner is the 4th cheapest ever as a percentage of average earnings. Finally, as we look ahead to holiday shopping, since last year, prices for toys are down about 4%, used cars and trucks are down 7%, and TVs are down 9%. Lowering costs for Americans continues to be the president's top economic priority, from strengthening supply chains to lowering energy and healthcare costs to cracking down on price gouging by banning hidden junk fees. President Biden's policy will continue bringing relief to American.
Yeah, they have a habit of doing that, Ex-Comer. They did it for 4th of July one year and saved about 5 cents or something. I don't know. And of course, they manipulate the numbers, make it look better than it is. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think we have a better indication of how expensive shit was. Like I said, we went grocery shopping on Sunday, got a little bit of stuff, and our Thanksgiving normal, nothing extravagant shit, and it was nearly $300. That's a lot more than we're used to. So yeah, it was for the 4 of us. It was nearly $300. Just for the 4 of us. We just get a turkey, some sides, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Maybe that's where they're getting the numbers from. If you steal it, it's free. But yeah, it's all garbage. Speaking about one garbage to another, he's at it again, boys and girls. Here's him trying to stay to watch the movie with a bunch of little kids.
And by the way, I like kids better than people. I wish I could stay and watch Wonka with you, but I'm not going to get to do that. And by the way,
God, he's such a creep. So moving from a creep spot to him actually supposedly doing his job, we're not going to watch the whole turkey pardoning because it had to get interrupted because he had an oopsie. But apparently there is a hostage deal with the mosque that some outlets say is complete, some outlets say is not. And of course, he's not going to answer the question because he's Joe Biden. Why the hell would he answer the question? That's stupid.
Mr. President, is a hostage deal near? Sir, is a hostage deal near? Mr. President, is a hostage deal near? I believe so, but I'm not prepared to talk. Believe so? Yes. How soon?
I mean, if that doesn't instill confidence, I don't know what will. I really don't know what will. I really don't know what will. From one world leader to another one. No, I'm not glorifying President Putin. I thought this was funny, and why not? Thought it was funny, and I want a cool crown. Moving on. Back to our government. Today, on Transgender Day of Remembrance, we grieve the 26, transgender Americans who were killed this year. Year after year, we see these victims are disproportionately Black women and women of color. This is what our government's favorite. I would much rather have our government interested in putting a way too comically large hat on somebody than this bullshit.
Today, on Transgender Day of Remembrance, we grieve the 26 transgender Americans who were killed this year. Year after year, we see that these victims are disproportionately Black women and women of color. No one should face violence, live in fear, or be discriminated against simply for being themselves. Today,
We can only hope.
Transgender.
Favorite Putin clip is when Uzbekistani president or whatever picks up a dog by the scruff of the neck and hands it to him. An incredible awkward moment. I think I might have saw that one, but so here's some bullshit news. CENTCOM on the morning of November 22nd in Iraq, U.S. Central Command forces conducted discrete precision strikes against 2 facilities in Iraq. Strikes were a direct response to attacks against U.S. and coalition forces by Iran and Iran-backed groups, including this one in Iran on November 21st, which involved the use of close-range ballistic missiles. We are just drumming up this war. We cannot get enough of this war. As you can see over here, Pentagon is trending. We cannot get enough. We cannot get into Iran soon enough. I don't know. I don't know. I also don't know. Yeah, she's really quiet. She's really quiet. But this is far more concerning. Yeah, we just want conflict with Iran, and supposedly former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden wrote a letter of sorts saying that he doesn't need congressional approval and that he's going to go into Iran, and it's not going to be fun. Well, Nikki Haley's trying to unseat John McCain. So She's doing a damn good job too, if you ask me. Yep. Yep. So, we're going to sneak this in here. Because apparently questioning the 2020 election was fine, but I don't know. So we're going to sneak this in here and just listen to this hearing at the state capitol building in Lansing, Michigan.
I witnessed personally. The following are only a few of the most egregious.
Of course, we don't agree with what they're saying here. We just want to know how bigoted these people are.
Just items witnessed. I was not allowed to perform my
Yep.
job, and from what I observed, were any of the GOP challengers in accordance with Michigan laws. We were constantly prevented from getting close enough to see what was going on with the respect to the ballots. Procedures were not being properly followed. When we brought these to the attention of the supervisors, our concerns were dismissed and ignored. We observed ballots being backdated from 11/4 to 11/2 and data being entered into the computers for these mail-in ballots. Poll workers were entering ballot information from new mail-in ballots, including dates of birth of 1/1/1900 into the electronic poll books and processing those ballots for tabulation. The information wasn't in either the electronic poll book or the paper supplement book prior to that. There's been lots and lots of reports after the election counting process. First of all, I did email a copy of what I'm reading from to each of the Republican senators and the House of Representative members. So I'd be happy to provide this to you. Dead people were voting. I sent a website to that effect, and the list that they had up to that date was 17,327 randomly checked Michigan voters that were registered for voting and were above the age of 80. Every name on this list has voted in the 2020 election.
I am not a doctor.
Yourself, and has also been found in one or more of the obituaries online.
Hey, Shenny.
This is the most important election in my lifetime, and I think the most important election in the history of our republic. Every legislator, whether seated in the House or the Senate, whether Democrat or Republican, took an oath to defend the U.S. and state constitutions of the U.S. and Michigan against enemies both foreign and domestic. Time is of the essence, and now is the time to fulfill that oath. Despite what the media is telling everyone, there are mountains of evidence that voter fraud occurred on a massive scale, the likes of which we've never witnessed in the country.
30 seconds.
For those.
And so that's the end of it. And as you can see, this happened about 2 years ago. Just like everything else, it gets buried. So gets incredibly buried. So I wanted to go back to that. So they found some passports from that crash already. Some people in their 50s who'd been to a KISS concert can't make this shit up. Yeah. And there was an article surfacing online that one of the passports was Iranian. So, well, shit. We're close. We're close. I feel like World War III has already started. But I really do. I witnessed more votes happening than registered voters in my district, but it was the safest and most secure election in history. Nothing to see here. Exactly. And you are a fucking bigot for bringing it up, AP. Yeah, I was down at Kobo for a little bit. That shit was ridiculous. So, yes, muskets. Only muskets. What's up, tits? Fear of Trudeau. Speaking of Fear of Trudeau. Oh, sorry, this isn't him. This is a giant beaver. Same difference. This is from Buc-ee's. This is from Buc-ee's, the chain that is so fantastic in Texas and kind of spreading out over the South. 60 years ago, beloved President John F. Kennedy was murdered by his own Central Intelligence Agency, JFK 60. Fucking based. Fucking based. From Buc-ee the Beaver himself. Buc-ee's is a gas station. I have a short a Buc-ee's. It's fucking incredible. If you've never been to a Buc-ee's, it's worth stopping if you're ever in the American South. Southwest. If I can find it quickly. God damn it. See, they don't put shorts in a different category. Shorts are in with everything else. Oh, but it would be if I go to my actual page, dumbass. But Buc-ee's is amazing. They have literally everything you could ever imagine. And it's fantastic. So when I was in Houston with the Fuzzy Wuzzy, we went to a Buc-ee's, and this was his reaction. Like, no joke. This is a gas station. Like, there's everything. There's sweets. There are, like, fresh meats being cooked and shit. Like, Buc-ee's is incredible. And this tweet was so based. So good on you, Buc-ee's. And it is the anniversary of the death of JFK. It is a gas station. The one that oh, hey, what's up, dog mama? What the fuck is Buc-ee's? It's the biggest fucking gas station you've ever seen in your entire life. It seriously, it has a full bakery. It has they're cooking brisket in the middle of the damn thing. They have everything. They have the one in Florida that we went to. They had 150 gas pumps. They had like 40 Tesla charging stations. Like, it was the best place to charge the Tesla. It was fantastic, but it's huge. They have everything you could frickin' imagine. It's fabulous. But they're a Texas-based gas station. Yes, Texas-sized gas stations. Cleanest bathrooms ever. That is a fucking understatement. The bathroom was beautiful. I would live there. Like, I'm not even kidding. It is a national treasure. If you're ever in Texas or Florida, they have them sprinkled. You know, I mean, it's a sight. You got to take one in, for real. Speaking of Texas, Trump serves meals to the Texas National Guard soldiers, Texas DPS troopers protecting the borders. It was fun to see the original post on some of these, because they're like, oh yeah, the brown shirts, those German brown shirts already supporting Trump, blah, blah, blah. They have them in Tennessee now. They were fantastic.
Basically, make sure they serve everybody in line. So we're going to be in here, obviously, for a little bit, but we're glad you're joining us. This is kind of a special moment. This is a side of the president we don't normally see a lot of this out. Of course, we go to some of those OTRs where he'll pop into an ice cream parlor or a pizza place, and it's kind of cool to see that. But very rarely do you get to see kind of an extended interaction with people like we have here. So I think it's a very unique situation. I know that all the men and women.
All right, so that's him serving food, and then this is him talking about the biggest threat to America, and I tend to agree with the man.
The rule of law is a tremendous threat to Western civilization, and I was asked the other day, and I took a little heat for it. They said, "Who's our biggest threat? Is it China, sir? Is it Russia?" I said, "No, our biggest threat are high-level politicians that work in the United States government, like Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, Biden, Justice Department, because that's poison."
I wish we had a Buc-ee's.
I do things with China. I made the greatest trade deal in history with China. I don't even talk about it because sometime after that, fairly shortly, what happened with COVID, it was like I didn't want to talk about a trade deal.
I want beaver nuggets. So thank you, everyone. Even though I brought up the story. Speaking of biggest threat to America, This isn't even in America, but it's the biggest threat. I don't know if any of you heard. I know that many of these individuals are in this audience are religious and do, have the religious aspect. Again, it's not entirely what I do, but so I know a little bit about what this means, but it seems like bullshit even from my perspective. I don't know if anybody saw what Pope Francis has done, but he invited a bus full of transgenders, shipped them in, had dinner with them, and so this is the bus ride to meet with Pope Francis. Yep. Yes. So I'm all for equality. I'm all for treating people with respect and letting people be adults and do whatever the hell they want to. This just seems like it is not a great way to portray religion. Like, again, I'm not a religious scholar. I don't practice a religion. All that I know for sure is that this doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem right. Maybe. No, beaver nuggets are fantastic. This Pope will be the religious leader for the Antichrist. I've heard that a lot. So, yeah. That's true. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta do a little bit of research, and maybe I'll do a show this weekend on the Argentinian president-elect, because he seems pretty damn based too. So, Pope has been a figure for evil since the Catholic Church began. This is just one hurrying us into the last days. Old Testament Roman Catholic, not cool. I hate people are elevating this ugliness into mainstream of all the things in the world. Why do the world powers promote transgenders? They can live their life, but why promote it? Marxism, Matt. It's all cultural Marxism, and it's all a way to break down and destroy society from the inside out. And it's unfortunate, but they're doing a damn good job. So, yeah, that's what I get from the brief interaction I've had with looking at some of the content. Is he's either incredibly based or completely off his rocker. I haven't decided which one, so I have to look more. But that is going to be it for our politics today. Now we're going to go into. We do not give papal advice. Not at all. So now we're going to go into Prison Planet, and viewer discretion. Some of the stories get, kind of ridiculous as normal. But so this was yesterday, and I was watching it closely. Cannon Air Force Base on lockdown due to reports of an active shooter in Curry County, New Mexico. Reminder: we had one in Colorado last week that was also supposed to be an active shooter. Currently, multiple law enforcement are responding to reports of an active shooter at or inside the Cannon Air Force Base in Curry County, New Mexico. Officials from the Air Force Base has placed the whole area on lockdown as they're asking residents to immediately seek shelter until further notice. According to reports from inside the base, this is not a drill. And then we got an update shortly thereafter. Officials from Cannon Air Force Base said there is no active shooter. This is a precautionary measure in response to an individual who threatened to shoot himself at a medical facility on the base. They can confirm that a shot was fired and that the individual, as they are looking for him. No word on who fired the shot. The shelter in place remains in effect. So it sounds like they had an active shooter. There was a shot fired, but almost mirrors that Colorado shooting that we saw the other day, and last week's update. So, this is another one. There was a mass shooting in Ohio a week ago. I think I have that one. I think we're gonna get to that one in just a moment here. I think we're gonna get to that one. I'm just making sure. That's not it. Yes, we're gonna get to that one. I thought for sure. The one in Beaver Creek. Yep, that one's coming up next after this short video. So, all right. So, this is another one that I will do a deep dive on at some point in the very near future. Breaking January 6th body cam footage of a Metro DC officer telling his fellow colleague, "We go undercover as Antifa," in a crowd. Has been confirmed to be authentic by Just the News. So it has been allegedly confirmed to be authentic. Again, I've seen it floating around. So,
Well, we go undercover as Antifa in a crowd. So, can you put that back in? All right, thank you so much. Yep. It feel better. You guys get sprayed. Here.
kind of weird, kind of out of context, but I mean, I don't see a reasonable explanation for why the hell he was saying that. Just seemed kind of odd. Thought I'd bring it up. Again, there's the deep dive coming because the January 6th tapes are supposed to be released in full from the new speaker. Yes, please explain yourself. Reading Andrew's mail. Oh, okay. I thought you were not intentionally, but maybe I'm trying to project. I thought you were driving. Don't be reading shit while you're driving. Breaking. Gunman opens fire on shoppers inside a Walmart. Multiple people have been shot in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Currently, multiple law enforcement and emergency crews are on the scene after a male suspect with a rifle entered inside Walmart store in Beaver Creek, Ohio, and began firing multiple shots towards people. Law enforcement reports indicate that 3 people have been shot, and there may be more. The suspect has been killed. Authorities urge the public to avoid the vicinity. So there's a couple videos related to this. This is your standard cop.
Might have an active shooter at Walmart.
Oh my God. It was a tall, young, white guy. He had an army book bag on, and I swear I was confused. Like, I thought he had a BB gun. It was like a long assault rifle. He just started shooting after he walked past me. Like, I had my mom and my grandma watching over me, because how did that even happen? I called 911 before, and I couldn't even get through. My nerves are shot right now. I'm scared to walk close.
Okay, so with all that, then we're gonna go over here and see maybe why it was covered up. Maybe I don't know. So FBI immediate release, Cincinnati division. Tom Lidgren, blah blah blah. FBI and Beaver Creek police provide investigative update. So this was provided 2 days ago, and we haven't heard much more Yeah, it was the white guy with the BB gun that kind of looked like an AR-15. Yeah, you got it, tits. You got it. Beaver on the brain. It was done intentionally. Right. As investigation into the November 20th, 2023 shooting at Walmart in Beaver Creek, Ohio continues, the FBI and the Beaver Creek Police Department are providing an investigative update. 3 victims injured during an attack include a Caucasian female, 2 African-American females, and a Caucasian male. To date, the investigation has revealed the following information based on evidence collected, including journal writings from the attacker Benjamin Charles Jones. The attack may have been at least partially inspired by racially motivated violent extremism, RMVE ideology. The FBI will continue to investigate the motivating factors leading to this attack. Benjamin Charles Jones strikes me as not a white guy's name. My racism could be showing. I don't know. But Benjamin Charles Jones of Dayton, Ohio. I could be wrong. I'm going to look it up because I thought there was a picture. I think he's in the video. It is a white guy, but it looks like a liberal white guy. So this is allegedly the shooter. So this is the alleged shooter. Now I want to go back here. The attacker used a High Point 45 caliber carbine with one 9-round magazine. He used a fucking High Point. The weapon was purchased November 18, 2023 from a store in the Dayton area for like $60. Investigators are continuing to look in the background of the subject to determine if any of his answers to the ATF form 4473 were accurate. What the fuck? This investigation remains very active as the FBI thoroughly examines the attacker's background, motive, connections, and online activity. Anyone with information regarding Benjamin Charles Jones is asked to contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. All right, so we've all seen that. So viewer discretion is advised. This is the officer video. It is graphic. I want a fucking yeet cannon so bad. I want a yeet cannon so bad. Like I would happily shill High Point for the rest of my life for one yeet cannon. At High Point, everyone, that I want them as a sponsor. Your discretion.
Yeah. What's he look like?
A High Point is the shittiest firearm you'll ever see in your entire life. Hang on. But they do make a yeet cannon, which is in my bookmarks because one day, boys and girls, that's a yeet cannon. It's a High Point firearms. They are shit guns. They're like $150. They are bad. They're really bad. Notoriously horrible firearm brand. They are cheap. They are very poorly built. They're bad. Exactly. I have a Glock, so I'm a gangbanger that can afford a Glock. Yeah. Just as bad as High Point. But I do want a yeet cannon. It's a 9mm yeet cannon. But we'll get back to the Exactly.
Where's he at?
Why? Okay. We're not breaking down police procedure, but thank you. I love my Glock. I really do. I know it's not for everybody, but it is for me.
Got him.
So apparently it was already down at this point, I take it. But yeah, so that's the resolution to the store shooting. I mean, when they go down like that, it makes it easy, no trial, right? But we'll read about it real quick to kind of put an end to this one and move on. Ohio, the Beaver Creek Police Department Dispatch Center received the first 911 call of a male who walked into a Walmart with a high-point .45 caliber carbine long gun. They make .45 caliber long guns? No. Sorry, I gotta look. Long gun. God, their long guns must be terrible. Yeah, it is. Look at that. What the fuck? How much is one of these? They don't even put prices. Or you can get a white one. Yeah, I'm out. Anyways. As the dispatcher was gathering information, the caller stated the man, later identified as 20-year-old Benjamin Charles Jones of Dayton, began shooting. Officers dispatched with 1 minute and the first two officers arrived on scene at 8:39 p.m. Beaver Creek police officers heard a gunshot and advanced towards the threat. Locating the shooter was on the ground with a self-inflicted gunshot wound at 8:42. No responding police officers discharged their firearms. The gunman shot and injured 4 adult victims, 3 females, 1 male. As of 2 p.m. Tuesday, 3 of the victims were listed in stable condition. 1 victim remained in critical yet stable condition. Medics with Beaver Creek Township Fire Department were staged at 8:39 p.m. and arrived on scene at 8:43 p.m., with transports to local hospitals occurring minutes later. During this time, officers with the Beaver Creek Police Department, along with the assistance of several local agencies, continued to clear the building and secured the scene at 9:14 p.m. I want to commend our dispatchers, officers, and fire personnel for their quick response to confront the threat and treat victims within the first minutes of the call. Acting Police Chief Chad Lindsay, our prayers go out to the victims and their families of this tragic event, as well as all those who have been impacted by the senseless violence that occurred last night, along with assistance from local law enforcement partners. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, ATF, and FBI responded to assist with evidence collection, which is ongoing. They don't list prices. Yeah, I know, but they are. They feel like they're gonna just break apart your fucking hand. It's terrifying. Actually, they're designed to shoot. They're designed to be used as baton when they inevitably jam. Speaking of guns, more than 100 guns stolen in Michigan after store manager is forced to reveal alarm code. This is a weird story. It's a long story too. We'll see how far we go. Grand Rapids, Michigan Department of Justice U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan, Mark Totten, today announced that 2 Benton Harbor men were charged with several crimes related to theft of firearms from Dunham Sports in Benton Harbor. I didn't know Dunham still sold guns here in Michigan. We have one. I don't know where the hell it's at, but I've seen one around. So just go to you're in Ontario, right? I'll meet you. Never mind. Don't discuss your crimes on the internet, but we'll work it out. Today's press conference concerning this case can be viewed here. It's no secret that we're experiencing an epidemic of gun violence across the nation, the state of Michigan, and right here in Benton Harbor, says U.S. Attorney Mark Totten. Feeling this epidemic is a massive influx of illegal guns into our communities. What happened at Dunham's on the evening of November 16th is a striking example of what is driving this crisis, and we fully intend to satisfy our burden to prove this case. That's not how most people get guns. Just saying. No, it's just one of those things where I bring up the stories because they're here. So, the charging documents allege that late on November 16th, 23, Donna Bishop and Dontrell Nance approached the Dunham store manager outside his home and held him at gunpoint. Bishop and Nance then handcuffed and blindfolded the manager and took them to another location. There, they forced him to provide security access information for the Dunham store. Bishop took the manager's keys, entered the Dunham store, and left with more than 120 handguns packed into 2 large coolers. Police later recovered all but 1 gun. If convicted, both men face up to life in prison. That's fucking weird. That doesn't happen. That's a true statement. Is there still one in Livonia? Shit. Investigators searched residences and vehicles associated with Bishop and Nance on November 17th and found firearms stolen from Dunham's as well as additional pistol. Both men were taken into custody that same day. Nance and Bishop are getting coal in their stockings this year rather than the 120 plus firearms they tried to steal during an armed robbery attempt of the Dunham Sporting Goods store in Benton Harbor, said ATF Detroit Field Division Special Agent in charge, James Deere. Robberies and burglaries of gun dealers represent one of the biggest threats to our community's public safety. It's pretty stupid to rob an actual gun store, though. As such, ATF partnered with our state and local enforcement agencies to swiftly investigate this incident and thus prevented over 120 firearms from making it in the hands of violent criminals on the streets and keeping our communities safer. This is just going to be ball fluffage, and I don't really want to deal with it. So, Benton Harbor, Public Safety, Berrien County Sheriff's Department, MSP, ATF, FBI. All right, so now we get into the grapist stuff. All right, so high school teacher grape boy after giving him marijuana, then made him drive her car home because she was too drunk, says police. What do you think, Dazzer? Hit it or quit it? During a traffic stop in Idaho, a former high school teacher, Jessica Lawson, nabbed by police while a teenage boy whom she is accused of graping was behind the wheel, allegedly under the influence of drugs and alcohol, as reported by multiple news outlets. Police say the boy was driving because Lawson, 36, was too intoxicated to operate the vehicle. Jessica Lawson, a former teacher at South Fremont High School, faces charges of 2 counts of graping a child between the ages of 16 and 17. That one's a tough sell. To me. Delivery of a controlled substance and a misdemeanor charge of dispensing alcoholic beverage to a minor, according to court records. I believe these are crimes to me. The controlled substance and the alcoholic beverage. The 16 to 7, that one's a tough sell for me. That's kind of where I'm at too, brother. That one's a tough sell for me. Based on the information for the court documents cited by the State Journal, on November 6th, police pulled over a teen driving Lawson's car due to a malfunctioning taillight. It's always the damn taillight. The teen allegedly informed the officer that he took the wheel because Lawson was too drunk to drive. The documents also suggest that the teen admitting to possessing marijuana. Later that day, the boy's parents reportedly made a 911 call saying that Lawson had picked up their son around 11 p.m. the previous night and brought him to her home. But you didn't call when this young lady picked up your kid at near midnight. Yeah, this seems like, oh, I'm trying to get my kid out of this, and right. The teen purportedly disclosed to police that Lawson provided them with alcohol and marijuana before engaging in activity. Contrary to the teen's account, Lawson reported denied giving him marijuana or having an encounter with him. She's currently held in custody with the bond set at $250,000. Yeah, this one's fucky. This one's a little bit worse. Little bit worse. Male nanny sentenced to over 700 years in prison for assaulting 16 boys in California. And this one's really freaking long, but I'll read it. So I take it this is allegedly him. The man who served as a male nanny for families across Southern California was sentenced to 705 years to life plus 2 years and 8 months for assaulting 16 boys under his care and showing a 17th child pictures with the intent to also assault him. He filmed many assaults on the young boys who ranged in age from 2 to fuck this guy. I can't read anymore. This guy deserves a wood chipper, not 705 years. This is the worst of the worst. This piece of shit doesn't deserve to continue to breathe. But thankfully, the court system, it put him in prison for the rest of his natural born life. Yeah, we're not going to read the rest because it's probably going to get even worse. He was 34, 2 to 12, and almost had a 17th victim. Yeah, that's too much. That is true, though. That is true. That would be justice. That would be actual justice. All right. So that is the end of our fucked up corner. There wasn't a ton of it today, thank God. Back to the one that everybody was talking about earlier. So now we're into the random. Breaking, multiple emergency crews are on the scene of a large military jet overshoots a runway and ends up in a bay in Honolulu, Hawaii. Currently, multiple emergency crews are responding to a downed aircraft at Marine Corps Base in Honolulu. A Navy Boeing P-8 Poseidon jet has reportedly overshot the runway and ended up in Kineo. Obama, you're from Hawaii, right? How do you pronounce that? Keneoho? Close enough. Bay. The aircraft had 9 people on board, all of whom swam and made it ashore. Officials say injuries were reported to be minor, but that could not be independently confirmed. The plane involved appears to be a Boeing P-8 Poseidon, described as military surveillance and patrol aircraft. This crew was hyper. That's my question. Yeah, it never should go that way. In my opinion. But anyway, so the part that they're leaving out is this was a extremely diverse crew. There was not a single white male on this entire aircraft, and they had taken a picture before they took off because they were all African American women. Not saying that has anything to do with it. I'm just saying I feel bad for him because it was a historic flight. Very historic flight. from one plane crash to another. Emergency crews are responding to a plane crash where multiple vehicles are on fire with reported injuries. This was last night in Plano, Texas. Currently, multiple law enforcement and emergency crews are on the scene responding to a small plane that's crashed in Plano, Texas. Officials are reporting that multiple vehicles are on fire along with the plane. They're working to control the flames. There are reports of injuries. It is unclear if the pilot of the aircraft has survived the crash, as the pilot is in, or as the plane is engulfed in flames. And there was no update on this one, so so it looks like one hell of a fire. But we didn't get any updated information about pilots or deaths or the only other thing I read is that it was just unconfirmed, so all right. So 1.35 billion Mega Millions winner sues mother of his child for telling his family about the win. Yeah, never tell anybody you win a shit ton of money, because then you find a bunch of friends that you never knew you had. Received one of the most substantial lottery payouts in U.S. history, has initiated a federal lawsuit against the mother of his child with the aim of safeguarding his anonymity. Well, too late now, jackass. Earlier, this man bagged a Mega Millions jackpot totaling $1.35 billion buying a lottery ticket at a gas station in Lebanon, Maine. In an action filed at the U.S. District Court in Portland, he alleges that the mother of his child breached a non-disclosure agreement by revealing details either directly or indirectly about his lottery winnings. According to court documents, the defendant disclosed the information to the winner's father and stepmother. Both parties involved in the lawsuit are identified solely by pseudonyms to maintain their privacy. The filings specify that the winner resides in Maine, while the defendant resides in Massachusetts. The defendant has until December 6th to respond to the legal action. The complaint notes that the non-disclosure agreement was established shortly after winning the ticket. The winning ticket was purchased. The lawsuit further asserts that the winner is seeking an injunction from the court, along with a minimum of $100,000 in damages. That seems, I don't know. What's the chance on that one, Oz? Exactly. Mm-hmm. All right, buddy. Enjoy the movie and happy Thanksgiving, dude. I hope you have a great one, man. I take it Ozzy left. Ozzy had left the building. So everybody's traveling this year. Exactly. Or I would just go to a remote island. Maybe Epstein's Island. You know, buy it and do good with it. Maybe have a seance and get rid of the Satanism. But current scene on the 405 in Los Angeles. Record traveling this year. Record people traveling. I don't want to listen to the news report, but it is busy in Southern California. Looks like a normal day to me, but damn, and you just broke your NDA. So, moral to the story, don't move to Southern California. Alert. Recall issued for ground beef shipped to several states. Washington FDA Skyline provisions a Harvey establishment is recalling approximately 5,620 pounds of raw ground beef products that may be contaminated with a foreign object. The ground beef items were produced and packaged on August 19th. The following products are subject to recall. Skyline provisions. 20-pound carton boxes containing 4 packages. Skyline Provisions Inc. Ground beef 8119 with item printed on label. 20-pound carton boxes containing 4 packages of Skyline Provision ground beef 7525. The products subject to recall bear establishment number EST 19300 inside the USDA mark of inspection. These items are shipped to institutions in Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Wisconsin. The problem was discovered after FSIS received a customer complaint reporting that a foreign object was found during food preparation. There have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to consumption of these products. FSIS have received no additional reports of injury or illness from consumption of any of these products. Anyone concerned with an injury or an illness should contact a healthcare provider. FIS is concerned that some product may be institutional freezers. Institutions are urged to not serve these products. These products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. So if you have Skyline Provisions Inc. big ass boxes of ground beef, and you're in any of them of those states, don't eat it. It doesn't say what the foreign object is, but it might be people. Allegedly. I'm not going to kill you, Jason. Mm-hmm. It truly doesn't say anywhere. It just says foreign object. So, my bet is people, which is gross. But multiple people injured after a lamppost falls at Disneyland. Anaheim, California. Strong winds caused a light pole on Main Street in Disneyland to topple, resulting in injuries to at least 3 individuals, one of them seriously. The Anaheim Fire Department received a report about the incident on or around 8:30 a.m. on Monday. Disneyland officials verified the occurrence. Two of the injured individuals received treatment for minor injuries and were subsequently released. The third guest, who sustained serious injuries, was transported to the hospital. Additional details about the incident are currently unavailable. Not the happiest place on earth anymore. But it hasn't been for a while. Like I said, I'm still semi-pro Disney. I don't agree with what they're doing, but my family enjoys it, so I'm okay with it. Breaking. Police are responding to a report of numerous angry raccoons surrounding a vehicle trapping a person inside in Seattle, Washington. This is a true story. Now, some of you guys would be saying, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. True. Just never mind. True story. It was in the headlines, though. Postal worker among 3 charged in 24 million stolen check scheme, officials say. You can't even trust your USPS workers anymore. Charlotte, North Carolina, U.S. Postal Service employee and 2 co-conspirators have been arrested on federal charges for a scheme involving stolen checks worth over $24 million. Hey, buddy. Hope you're doing all right. Thanks for a member for 5 months. Damn. Have a good Thanksgiving. You as well, buddy. You take care. Tell what's the guy said hi. Nakedra Shannon, 29, Donnell Gardner, and Desiree Carter, all of Charlotte, are charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit financial institution fraud and 5 counts of theft of government property. Carter and Gardner are also charged with 7 counts of possession of stolen mail matter, and Shannon is charged with 8 counts of theft of mail by a postal employee. According to the allegations in the incident, from March 2021 to July 2023, Shannon was employed by the U.S. Postal Service as a mail processing clerk at USPS Processing and Distribution Center in Charlotte. from April to July 2023, Shannon conspired with Gardner and Carter to steal incoming and outgoing checks from the U.S. mail, which Gardner and Carter then sold to other individuals, including using the Telegram channel OG Glasshouse. Damn, I can buy fake checks there? Over the course of the conspiracy, the conspirators allegedly stole checks totaling more than $24 million, including more than $12 million in stolen checks that were posted for sale on Telegram and channel OG Glasshouse, and more than $8 million in stolen U.S. Treasury checks. Damn. The indictment also alleges that defendants obtained hundreds of thousands of dollars in criminal proceeds on the mail theft scheme. Shannon, Gardner, and Carter were released following bond for their initial appearances in court. The bank fraud conspiracy charge carries a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison. The charge of theft of a postal employee and possession of stolen mail has a statutory maximum penalty of 5 years in prison for the counts charged in the indictment. The charge of theft of government property carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison for each offense. So they should get some good prison time. Hey, what's up, Snafu? Happy Thanksgiving, dude. Hell yeah. No. Yeah, the USPS sucks. All three, Jason. Yeah. We still use some checks here in the United States, for sure. All right. So moving on. Alaska declares disaster in Wrangell following the deadly landslide U.S. So this is sent over by Desert. And we'll read a little bit of it here. This has been underreported hellishly, and I don't know why, but at approximately 2100 local time on Monday, November 20th, 2023, a destructive landslide produced by an intense rainfall occurred roughly 18 kilometers outside Wrangell, Alaska on Zimovia Highway. The event resulted in deaths of at least 3 individuals, including a child, with 3 more reported missing. Active rescue efforts continued in the face of the landslide, which extend over approximately 152 meters, destroying 3 homes and prompting urgent evacuations in the area. So, like he was saying, it's almost like there's just a different, it's almost like there's a different set of information that you're not allowed to feel sorry for them or get any resources for them. When I was in Alaska, so I was up in the Anchorage area and went through Fairbanks. Juneau's only allowed by plane, so you have to take a plane over, so that could hinder some efforts. But it is very clear that they have these kind of mudslides. They have these kind of different things, and that they can easily cover the road and railroad tracks. So this is something that, of course, they're people and they're Americans, and just because it's, the landslide also disrupted power, leaving approximately 75 homes without electricity between the 9-mile marker and the end of Wrangell's highway system. Wrangell public schools have been closed, but Evergreen Elementary Schools will offer support services. So it's a beautiful area, but it's also very secluded. It's nowhere close to anything. Like, it was pretty impressive. It was a fun place to go, for sure. But yeah, so we hope for the best for them, and hopefully the rest of the people get out safely. And they can just slide when it gets wet. So, all right, so we're gonna do a couple different things here. One, well, we'll go through here. Spacelight now. So coming up, we have a Starlink 629. Very unlikely I'm going to cover it, but I don't know, that's out of the question completely. We'll see how tonight goes, but that's tonight, 1:47 a.m. Eastern time. This one looks like a fun one. The Electron rocket. Electron is the Kiwi company. So from Mighty Peninsula, New Zealand, from Launch Complex 1, it is their bigger rocket. They started with a very small rocket and have grown bigger. So net November 28th, so somewhere around November 28th, and the Moon God Awakens. Then in December, we have Falcon Heavy and Falcon 9, and there'll be some in between. I'm certain of it. All right, so that's what's coming up in spaceflight. We obviously just saw the Falcon 9, or the Starship, with what I thought was a successful flight, with some things that they need to work on. Here's your cute, funny, or furry video for the night. Cute bear. So here's what I want to do next. Unfortunately, because I know YouTube would totally fuck me on this video, I'm gonna head over to oh no, I have one more. I lied. Give me 1 second. But after that, we're gonna head over to Rumble exclusively, because there's one video that I found today on Twitter that I thought was incredibly. It's about 25 minutes. I thought it was great and something that was definitely worth a watch. It kind of gives so this I thought was interesting too. Before we take off and go over that way. Yeah, cute ass bear. Sorry, I thought I pulled this up, but then I was like, oh shit, I didn't get to it. So this is all part of that bigger conspiracy theory that I have, where it's like, oh shit, are we trying to set ourselves up for something? Especially with what happened today at the border. The threats coming into tomorrow to the parade routes and stuff like that. But I definitely wanted to play this over here. This is allegedly this young lady talking about, well, listen to her talk about it. I know. That's what I said. I thought this was interesting as shit. So,
right now, and how many do you think?
Let me restart it.
So how many air marshals are on planes right now, and how many do you think there should be to get to a safe level?
Well, Carly, we're not flying right now. The only missions that we're doing are quiet skies missions, and those are missions that are following the January 2021 people. So we're either on the border for illegal immigrants, or we're following folks from January 2021. We're not doing our regular missions where we're out there looking for the bad guys. So right now on most flights, you're not going to have air marshals.
What do you mean by that? You're following January 2021 people. What does that mean?
That means our primary mission is a little group called Quiet Skies. It's a mission called Quiet Skies that we're following people that flew into the National Capital Region in January 2021. You did not have to go to the Capitol or the rally, and you've been put on a specific list that TSA now has assigned air marshals to follow these people who have not had any type of criminal investigation. They haven't committed a crime, but yet 3 years later, we're following the same individuals day in and day out.
So you're saying that air marshals are now following people that were at the Capitol on January 6th, and they're not tracking terrorists at all?
Well, they didn't even have to be at the Capitol, Carly. They could have just flown into the National Capital Region. So if anybody was there for a job interview, to visit family, we even had a gentleman that was there for a funeral. They put on this domestic terrorist list just because of their geographic location to Washington, D.C. So these people did not even commit a crime. They weren't even at the Capitol.
What? Do those people know that they're on this list?
Some of them do, because when they go to the airport, they get the quad S's on their boarding pass, and then they have to go through enhanced security. Then they're followed by teams of air marshals on any leg of flight that they have.
Just for the record, nah, fuck it. We're going to stay on YouTube, and I'll play the 20-minute video here, and YouTube can suck my ass, and I don't really care. So after this one, there's going to be one more video. I just think it's interesting and curious, so...
So yes, a lot of them do know that they're being followed, yet they haven't been vetted and they have not committed a crime. And 3 years later, we're still doing the same duty. And we followed the same people over and over for 3 years who are no threat to this country.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you are an average passenger on a plane, how concerned should you realistically be?
I think you should be very concerned when you're boarding the aircraft. You need to look around to see who you might be able to ask to help you, like a good Samaritan, because you're on your own. If anything happens, please don't wait. There's going to be no law enforcement that's going to help you. So you need to have a plan. Look where the exit doors are. Look where your flight attendants are standing around you. But I would look at other passengers to see. I would be looking around for a football player or somebody, a pretty big guy or a couple big guys, in case you needed to take action.
Wow. Wow.
And like I told Digger, if you need personal security, one, I can fly an aircraft. Maybe not a 747 or a bigger aircraft, but I can at least get us on the ground, hopefully. Secondly, I'm a big guy. I'll fly with you. All right. But so here's a video that I thought was incredibly interesting. I'm not going to interrupt it a bunch. It's kind of long. Like I said, it's about 25 minutes. I'm just going to let it play. I think it was a well done animation, and I'm not going to comment on it at all. Well, maybe just a little bit, but not during, because that would be racisms, probably. Enjoy. I just thought it was cool. So that's exactly right. Big hands, big body, big me. Like these folks were going to attack America. Yeah. Oh, Biden. It's bullshit at this point. Thanks, Digger. And take you through the epics for... I'm staying here, Red. That's what I said. I'll stay here. Fuck you, dude.
Good morning. We are bringing to you today's most important news from around the world. Despite all the extraordinary efforts, the government and health system workers are still struggling to bend the curve of growing cases caused by the latest variant of the virus. 5 more people died today, and 30 million tested positively. Citizens are now required to wear masks when they step out to the balconies of their isolation facilities, and take them off only when they are back to the safety of their rooms. Stay compliant. Stay isolated. Stay safe. And now, on to other news. As the whole planet went on the righteous crusade against climate change and global warming, we are excited to spread the word about another successful project. As science tells us, during the night, plants release CO2 into the atmosphere. CO2 is a powerful greenhouse gas that dramatically contributes to global warming. But don't worry. Almost 100,000 square miles of South American rainforest has been cleared, and this area is used to construct one of the largest solar panel fields in the world that will provide us with a tremendous amount of clean energy. We will keep fighting the deadly forests and defeat climate change. That is all for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's news.
Bruce Kowalski, your weekly food ration has arrived.
Mask up your nose.
The Godfather movie is banned from our database for misrepresentation and stereotypization of the Italian community. Pulp Fiction movie is banned from our database for excessive violence and racist content. The movie 1984 never existed.
Stay compliant. Stay isolated. Stay safe. And now, on to other news. Say goodbye to cows and beef. As you might know, cows and livestock agriculture in general is a source of methane, a powerful greenhouse gas. Cows fart, and the temperature on Earth rises 1 degree with each cow fart, contributing to global warming. This is why the authorities started a cow extermination program, and today the last herd of cows has been dealt with. The Earth has officially become a cow-free planet, and climate change is finally under control. You might get concerned, where would we obtain our proteins from? Chicken and pork are not commonly accessible products, and beef is gone now. Do not worry. Hundreds of alternative protein manufacturing facilities have been constructed on each continent. They process thousands of tons of protein-rich food. This alternative food contains way more protein than beef. It is cheap to cultivate and it doesn't contribute to global warming. Kudos to science and green agenda. That is all for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's news.
Bruce Kowalski. Your monthly universal basic income has been deposited into your account. For more information, press details. You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee. Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days. Attention. Important announcement.
Dear residents of the quarantine facility number 89. Great news. Here at Nova Gene Labs, we grant you a chance to participate in the trials of our new drug, which has been developed by our research team. This drug is absolutely safe and will bring the end to the deadly virus we are all fighting together for the last several years. Those of you who chose to participate will get a significant social credit score boost. As the result, you will be relocated to a superior isolation facility, receive a higher universal basic income, and become eligible for an improved food ration. Should you choose to participate in the Nova Gene Labs clinical trials program, our specialist will visit you within the next few hours, make an injection, and will be daily monitoring your condition online. Your participation is very important to us and the rest of the world. Make a difference. Follow the science and make the right choice. Nova Gene Labs is not responsible for any side effects, injuries, or death followed after the injection. Sorry to hear that.
new virus that emerged in Asia a couple of months ago keeps spreading all over the world. Some countries are imposing lockdowns and stay-home orders to protect their populations from this highly contagious disease. In our country, 3 persons in their 90s died of the virus in long-term care facilities. The virus keeps spreading in our country. Almost 500 new cases have been registered last week. As of today, the whole country is going into a complete lockdown. The health authorities are imposing a strict stay-at-home order. While these measures are tough, they are temporary. We need only 2 weeks to bend the curve.
The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world.
Despite strict lockdowns being in place, the virus cases keep growing exponentially. The government is considering the option of proclaiming a state of emergency in some areas and relocating citizens to safe and isolated quarantine facilities.
Attention all citizens. Your district is contaminated and you will be evacuated immediately. Please take only necessary personal belongings and step outside of your homes. You will be transported to a safe, isolated location.
Attention. Non-compliant resident alert. Attention. Non-compliant resident alert. Attention. Non-compliant resident alert. Attention. Non-compliant resident alert. Attention. Non-compliant resident alert.
So that was the film, and obviously some of it was very hyperbolic, and I understand that, but I also think it paints a picture, and we just let that happen. We let that happen from people we didn't elect, from people we didn't appoint or vote for. We just let it happen. Did someone call my name? I heard non-compliant citizen. And it seems that they're trying to ramp it back up and do it again. With a new set that are coming out right now. So just something to be aware of. We got duped the last go around, and we can't allow it to happen again. So we can't allow that to happen, because truthfully, that's their utopia. I don't think there's a liberal politician or a liberal that's hellbent on their agenda that would have any problem with anything that happened in that video. They'd be like, yeah, that's great. That's exactly what it is. What's up, Roseman? 1984 is hyperbolic, but it's still on an important commentary. Yeah. I like the thought you put into it. Yeah, I did too. I just liked the video. I thought it was topical and appropriate. So, it's not going to work this time, I don't think. I hope not, but who would have thought it was going to work last time? So, all those things happened during COVID, just not all in the same place. They tested different techniques on different countries, but it all happened. Yeah. And everybody got a little bit of dare do tell. What? I don't know what dare is. But, so that is the news roundup for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We covered some good stuff. Also got in some video. We saw. I streamed it for a little bit. Go back and look. But, yeah, just keep your head up. Keep pushing through. And yeah, I want to make sure that everyone knows, to my American friends, and around the world, to hell with it. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I will see everybody again on Friday. I'm going to take tomorrow off completely. I'm going to get fat on turkey. Watch my Lions probably blow it against Green Bay, but we're good this year, so who the hell knows? And yeah, so that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and I will see everybody on Friday. Take care, y'all.